So hold on one moment. All right. So joining us today on behalf of Thornwood High School and South Shore International College Prep High School's girls mentoring program and basketball programs, we have a special guest. She is the greatest basketball player in the proud 255-year legacy of Rutgers University. She is a future top three pick of the upcoming 2021 WNBA draft next Thursday, representing Bellwood, New York. Let's give a huge Southside of Chicago welcome to former Big Ten scoring champion, United 10 first team performer, back-to-back campaigns, Arella Guirantes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us in the midst of your busy schedule. I know your schedule is extremely hectic with the draft coming up next week. So how excited are you about next Thursday?
I'm excited because I'm just ready to get it over with. It's a lot going into the process, and honestly, the easiest part about the whole process is actually playing basketball. Um,
Mhm.
so I'm ready to get everything rolling. I'm ready to
So-
go.
I heard that. I heard that. How do you prepare for being a future, not just first round pick, but top three? And are you keeping tabulations on some of the rumors and in one survey they have you as high as the number one overall pick, but pretty much universally you're pretty much like top three projective. So how does one prepare a week leading up to the WNBA draft?
I think if you're on social media, you're gonna run into that stuff. It's kind of no way to escape it. It's about you. So I think not letting it, really consume my thoughts, and just still preparing the way I've been preparing all my life, making adjustments and continue to being diligent in my craft. Um, and I think that's the best way to prepare.
Absolutely, absolutely. Christina wanted to ask, what was it like to play for the for the legendary GOAT, in my opinion, in her opinion, in my opinion too, see Vivian Stringer, and has she given you any advice on how to handle the craziness leading up to the WNBA draft? She's also, in addition to being the GOAT of the greatest of all time, in our opinion. She has coached some of the all-time greats as well, Cappy Poindexter, and just a slew of the many all-time greats. So has she given you any guidance and advice leading up to preparing this week?
She just continues to tell me that to be myself and to set high goals, and not let anybody, waver my confidence, um, going into this new journey. Obviously, it's you get what you get when you're playing for Coach Stringer. You have the many players who came before me, and she's done it before. So, you know, I'm just grateful to be in this position and be coached by someone so legendary and has such a beautiful record of making pros.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. What was that first recruiting trip like when she first came out to Bellwood, New York to attempt to recruit you? What was that first phone call or that first meeting like where she came into your home for the first time?
Um, Quick correction, it's Bellport, New York.
Bellport. My deep
Yeah,
apologies.
it's okay. But the first time she came out here, I still have the pictures, and I just remember she came to the Boys and Girls Club, and that's where I pretty much lived at because that's where we were at all the time. My parents worked there, and that's where we spend most of our time after school. And she came there, and I could just feel, the love. My mom was ecstatic about her, of course. She was just like, that's the lady I want to coach you. And it was just a great visit. And you just felt the love. You felt that she just cared about you outside of basketball.
Mhm.
And, being here for 4 years, she hasn't done anything that I wouldn't think I wouldn't have expected. Yeah, she's definitely met my expectations, and just went out on a limb for me multiple times, and I'm forever grateful.
Definitely. What did you major in at Rutgers?
I actually was a journalism major.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
yeah, I got my degree in journalism, and I did a lot of broadcast stuff. Now I'm getting my master's in global sports business.
Oh, wow. Okay. So perhaps you could be, following in the footsteps of Candace Parker, who is, still a WNBA legend, Olympic legend, and holding it down on NBA on TNT with Shaq, Charles Barkley, and them. So
Mm,
do you see that in your sights?
Yeah, I definitely can see myself going into the broadcast things. I think when I first watched um, broadcast journalist, I kind of just thought like, dang, that's like the coolest job in the world besides being a professional basketball player. You're talking about sports, you're talking about basketball every day, and
Mhm.
just break the game down, stuff that you do anyway on a daily basis, and then just getting paid for that and having fun. That's an amazing job.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, we had the chance to speak with trailblazing co-owner of the Atlanta Dream and legendary basketball floor general Renee Montgomery a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and obviously the Atlanta Dream has the number third overall pick in the upcoming draft next Thursday. Do you have a preference as far as what city or what team, what franchise selects you, or what main intangibles can you bring to a WNBA team? Obviously, you're projected to be within the top three selections, and in any sport, when you're all franchises that pick in the top three, they're essentially attempting to pick a franchise changing player performer. So what intangibles uh, do you feel as though you bring to the table for one of the top franchises?
To answer the first part of the question, I think it's normal for anybody who's about to live their dream just to vision themselves in certain cities. Um, but I've seen that, it's kind of, when you think about it a little too much, it can consume your thoughts. So
Yeah.
I'm wherever God places me at this moment. And I know that everything happens for a reason. So I'm letting it just fall into the right hands and control what I can control. As soon as I get into a program, I think a lot of people, well, I think what I would offer to a WNBA team is just, like you said, um, I believe in myself as a game changer. I'm not here to come in and just continue to do the same thing. Um,
Mhm.
so I just think, sorry, excuse me. I just bring a different perspective.
Mhm.
um, And I think a lot of top picks come in thinking the same thing. But um, I'm confident in my abilities. I'm confident in my versatility as a player. I'm confident in my ability to pretty much affect the game in every level, in defense, offense, um, wherever way you want it.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
and I think I see the game very clearly. Um, and my game definitely translates into the pro circuit. So I'm
Mm.
just excited out there.
Yeah, definitely. This is from Coach Rich. How how long are the average are is an average Rutgers practice in preparing for an upcoming Big Ten battle?
4 hours.
4 hours. Wow.
Yeah. Rutgers average practice is 4 hours. Um, yeah, we use the maximum amount of time. We use our time, and I think we'll split it up a little bit. Sometimes we'll lift, so sometimes it's not always 4 hours on the court. Sometimes we'll do an hour lift, and then we'll do 3 hours on the court. So
Mm,
it's just depending on the day, how close it is to a game. Preparation is definitely key. We do a lot of conditioning. We're very up and down teams. We run a lot of our practices based on conditioning, and quick change, all that stuff to get our mind flowing, and make it as game like as possible. And that's really our practices.
mm. Um, Malaysia wanted to ask, can you explain the importance of self-discipline and health and fitness when achieving your goals as a student athlete? Um, yeah, I mean, being a student athlete is extremely tough. You you don't need me to say it, but just everything that you have to juggle on a day in and day out basis and all the obligations, expectations, how important is self-discipline in maintaining maintaining overall as a student athlete.
Um, I think if that's not the most important quality of a student athlete, I don't know what is. Being disciplined on the court definitely translates on the court. What you do off the court translates on the court. A lot of people fail to realize that being, you know, disciplined with your health is important because exercise just doesn't affect your physical performance; it affects your mental performance too. So, you might be a little stressed out. You got a paper due, and you upcoming the deadline, and you know you have to release some of that
Mm,
stress. Good thing about being a student athlete, you get to release that stuff every single day, and it helps clear your mind, and tackle a lot of things that you deal with off the court. I think the great thing about sports is you learn a lot of life lessons through sports, and um, it definitely applies to the real world. That's why a lot of jobs go after student athletes.
mhm. What will you miss the most about playing at the rack?
Hmm. I would miss the atmosphere. It's just a really healthy environment playing at the rack. It's one of the hardest places to play at for an opponent, and the atmosphere, the fans are just so welcoming. They're with you whether you have a great game, a bad game, and a lot of programs, as you can see, there were tweets from fans after the NCAA men's tournament, threatening tweets and stuff like that. People who are disguising themselves as fans, but as soon as an athlete makes a mistake, they're on their they're saying really negative things to them. And I've never experienced that at Rutgers. And I have nothing but great things to say about our fans and our support system. So definitely the atmosphere at the Rack is it's just going to be memorable.
And how tough was it this season? Because I know you in particular, um, and the records program, y'all feed off of the fans. How tough has the last year plus been for you playing in front of essentially empty arenas throughout the Big Ten and even in non-conference schedules, playing in front of empty houses. How tough was that for you individually?
That's super tough because I said this in the beginning of the season. There's a couple games where there's not a game that we haven't lost by one or two possessions. We haven't been blown out by any team that we played. And there's some games with those one or two possessions. I feel like if we had fans, we probably would have pulled those games out. because fans make a huge difference. They bring a different level of energy when, you may be feeling tired, or you might lose a little, that 1 second of focus that changes the game. When they're cheering and they're screaming, and that energy rubs off on you and you become laser focused, you go into a zone. So I feel like it was a major difference. There's a couple games that we lost by 1-2 points that we would have won for sure.
How was the testing protocol as far as testing before a contest? How often was the testing for the basketball players per week, or especially leading up to game day?
We test every day. Yeah, we wake up and we test before practice every single day. It takes like 20 minutes. But there's 2 different tests. We take the nose swab test, the 15-minute rapid test on most days. But when you get ready to go into conference tournaments, they require a PCR test and then multiple screens of negative tests before you head out to those tournaments. So it kind of became like second nature. At first it was like a drag, but then just became second nature, and it also was a great reinforcement that, hey, I don't have COVID. So
yeah, definitely. We got 2 to 3 more questions for you. We can keep you on here all day, but I know it's still early, and you may want to go back to sleep after this call. So what was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? Have you ever been to Chicago? The reason why we're asking that, um, well, I don't even know why we're asking this, to be honest, because I believe the Chicago Sky is selecting 7th. You'll be long, long, long gone by then. but just out of curiosity, because you have such a huge fan base in Chicago, especially with the young ladies, and the young high school ballers out here in Chicago that watches and admires your game on and off the court. Have you ever been to Chicago?
I've been to Chicago. I think we've driven there during AAU tournament. Me and my dad were definitely we like to venture out and go see what the city's about. I think it was downtown Chicago.
Yeah.
I've never been to a place like Chirac or nothing, but I've been to downtown Chicago. Tried to try the pizza. And, I'm not a big fan of deep dish, so don't shoot me.
You
But
don't like deep dish?
I'm a thin crust person, and
New York, of course.
but I definitely will give it another shot. You can't base it off one impression. So I'm like the pizza expert. I'm trying pizza everywhere just to see who has the best pizza, because that's my favorite food.
Oh man. Amira has a question. Did you select the number 24 jersey in honor of your all-time favorite player, Kobe Bryant?
Um,
Or was it just a coincidence that you had 24?
Actually, part of me wants to say yes, and part of me is like, no, because that was my soccer number in middle school.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so I think I fell in.
So Kobe was copying off of you then, shoot.
So I feel like I fell in love with that number when I started playing soccer. I just liked the way it looked on my back. And of course, Kobe, I was a big fan of him. So I was just like, because I was number 11, just going into everything leading into high school. I was number 11 before I started playing on varsity. And those were like little CYO leagues and stuff, like little small AAU teams. But I wasn't crazy about the number 11. When I seen 24 on my back, and then I seen one of my favorite players, I said, yeah, I'm gonna change my number. And I ride for that number very hard, because I like the meaning behind it. I love his meaning behind it. Having 24 hours a day to make yourself better. And whether you're on the court or you're off the court, there's a lot of things that apply to the game that a lot of people don't see. You could be walking, and you can find something that applies to you being a better basketball player. So it's just about being open and being receptive and learning about just be able to soak up as much knowledge as you can.
Definitely, definitely. The last question that we have is, what is the one message that you would like to share with the many, many, many young ladies that would like to become the next Arella Guirantes?
I think one message I have would be just be you, um, and be unapologetically you. Be confident in yourself, and don't try to be the next Kobe Bryant. Don't try to be the next Arella. Don't try to be the next Candace Parker. Try to be better, reach higher, and continue to grow the game. The women's game is changing, and people are finally tuning into the greatness that the women's game offers. So continue to reach higher than the last person. Make unrealistic goals to where people think you're crazy. To where people will laugh at you. They'll tell you you can't do it. It's not possible. But everything that's been laughed at has been done on and off this court. So just be you, dream big.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. And Kalia wants me to sneak this in. And this is the last question, Kalia. What songs motivate you when you work out or when you're in a layup line or 3-point line, getting ready for an upcoming game and you got your Beats by Dre headphones on and getting locked in, getting ready for an upcoming uh Big Ten matchup or upcoming game in general, non-conference, whatever. What songs motivate you?
I'm an old head, very old soul. There's games where I'm only listening to Jay-Z and Kanye West and Nas, Pop, Big, things that just accelerate your mind and make you think and have a different perspective on a lot of things. I'm not a young boy. I'm not a little baby. I mean, I tune into that stuff. I mean, you can't control what's playing in the game. So, I mean, I have no choice. But to prepare my mind before the game, I'm listening to everything old school, hip hop, 90s. I'll be listening to old school R&B, depending on the mood. Um, Sometimes I listen to crazy things like Halloween theme song and
Oh wow.
or nothing at all. I'll pretend like I'm listening to something so people won't talk to me. So it depends on the day and how I'm feeling. Just I go by how my body feels. If I need a little extra pump, more upbeat songs. But if I need to calm myself down, I'm too hyped, and I realize that I'm gonna listen to some R&B, some the Isley Brothers. I'm listening to some stuff like that.
Oh wow, that's way back. That's throwback classics. Okay.
I'm a '70s girl.
um, well, thank you so much. We'll be tuning in here in Chicago, rooting you on next Thursday in the 2021 WNBA draft. Arella Guirantes, thank you so very much. Last thing, do you know if the WNBA draft, are they inviting the top prospects in person, or is it going to be like Zoom virtual, where like all the other sports drafts did last year, where they they weren't able to come in person but they were at home. What is the WNBA draft looking like? Is it going to be virtual again, or are you going to be able to come in person?
Well, first and foremost, thanks for having me and thanks for listening to me, hearing me out, hearing my story. Um, Second, everything's going to be virtual, unfortunately, this year.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
for it to be in person, it would be in my own city, and
Yeah.
that'd be crazy, just a dream come true. But, COVID still exists, and I'm okay with the precautions that the WNBA is taking, and it still doesn't um, ruin the moment for me.
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Yeah, so everything's virtual this year, and I'm still grateful that it's happening.
Well, thank you so much, Ms. Guirantes, for everything. Speaking to us on behalf of Thornwood High School, South Shore International College Prep High School, and SCJ, our educational initiative. Thank you so very much. Good luck, and hopefully we're able to circle back with you at some point this summer, if at all possible. Yeah, and for the upcoming WNBA season, take it easy on the Chicago Sky, because I know by the 7th pick you'll be long, long, long gone. So whoever selects you, take it easy on us when you come to the Shy.
Nah, they got some vets on there. You got Kalia, you got
Candace Parker,
great,
coming back home,
you got
hometown
great
Chicago.
yeah, some great point guards. So I don't think I have a choice, but not I don't have a choice to take it easy. On fire when I'm playing Chicago, because they're gonna kill me if I don't. So thank you so much. Have you guys enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, thank you so much. Go Scarlet Knights.
Bye bye.
All right, now.